Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Codenames XXL. So let's talk about this really quickly as a Codenames game. Codenames is a really fun game of trying to play teams and trying to guess what codenames are on the table in the least amount of guesses. So you will give out a word like giraffe or animal and 4. So that means you're trying to connect 4 of those clues by the word animal or giraffe, whichever word you're using. And it's a really fun little party game. It's been reprinted in a lot of different versions with IPs, and it's, in my mind, been overdone. Codenames was a fun game, and you had pictures and Disney and Harry Potter and blah, 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 blah. And it may be a little bit overrated at this point. But the XXL version is really nice. I always felt like the game was too small. Everybody was like hunched over the table, and I didn't like that. No, I play with a lot of older people, now that I'm getting old. So, we have to get our glasses on and look at this and see. But sitting at a Geek Chic table, which is what we normally play on with me, we have a big table and these little small tiny cards. But with XXL, they're bigger. So this is actually the version that I'm going to keep. I like the bigger size. The only difference between Codenames and Codenames XXL is the size of everything. But I like this so much better. In fact, I have quite a few different Codenames, and I'm thinking about getting rid of them. I wish the Disney version and the new Harry Potter version came out in an XXL size, but Alice, it does not. So, I think this is the version I'm going to keep. I might keep one other IP like Disney. I don't think Marvel, because it's just the comics, too many little small things that we're not aware of, so it's hard for us to make clues. But this Codenames XXL with the words, I tend to like better than the pictures. Because the pictures, maybe it's because we're idiots, but we tend to focus too much on color. Blue, 3. I don't know. Maybe that's just us. But with the words, I feel like it's a lot bigger struggle for us. And we have in our group, some people who really like words and they like playing off of words, and it just works a lot better. And I have the giant version, which I really, really like. So Codenames XXL. I would tell you, even if you have regular Codenames, which has no expansions, you don't have to worry about like the expansions not working with it, get the XXL version. If you don't have Codenames, you're thinking about getting it, the XXL version is better than any of the IP versions. I like it due to its size. It's so much easier to play. If you're playing on a very, very small table, then yeah, but this isn't really like a game you could play like on an airplane. There's too many cards you're going to have out. But that's my 2 cents. For me, it's a keeper. I'm going to go ahead and purge Codenames and keep Codenames XXL. This is Codenames XXL. This is very much bigger than the old version. Open it up. You're going to have a catalog of some games you can buy, a giant rule book, which we'll look at in a few minutes. And you're going to have this, I don't want to say custom insert, but it is. You're going to have your timer in here. You're going to have your gigantic plastic piece that will fit right back in there. You're going to have these giant cardboard. Now, these things are very, very nice. They have the exact same artwork from the smaller version. They're just humongous. These things are much, 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 much bigger. You're going to have a number of these that will be utilized. They're just larger. Everything else is exactly the same. They're just bigger. You're going to have a whole bunch of these. Now you're going to see there is a set of 1, 2, and 3 that will be in here. And those you can make whatever you want. You're going to have the big cards, just like it. But you can actually see this from across the table. Very, very cool. So that's what you're going to get with Codenames XXL. I think these pieces are much, much bigger, much, much nicer, much better quality than what you would get with a smaller version. Here's a rulebook for Codenames XXL. This book is a lot bigger than what you're going to get. You're going to have a rule QR code there at the beginning. As far as I know, the rules are pretty similar. You're going to be playing the game, have it all set up, and you're going to go through these pictures. Now, I'm not sure I like it. I find this really busy the way it is. Now, it works better on a bigger page. As you can see here, there's just stuff going up and down, and then you're going to have your rules, and it tells you about the flexible rules, about able to play, homonyms, synonyms, how the firm rules, don't be too strict, just have some fun. There's some expert stuff there that you can do too. For a 2-player game, and honestly, this is really cool. There's a picture of how to store your components in there, which is really nice. And that's going to get this rule book. It does have rules for 2 and 3 players also. So Codenames XXL is going to be set up in a 5x5 grid. You're going to have a little sand timer that people will utilize. That'll be the time they have to guess. You're going to have a card that you'll put in the stand that will tell you which cards people are guessing. Then you will have little cardboard things that will signify when you're correct if you're blue, and if you're correct if you're red. And those will be signifying when you are correct on the board visually. You're going to have the innocent bystanders and Mr. X, which all correspond to this card. You'll see the blue people are trying to guess the blue cards on the table, and it will just correspond to what you have down on this grid. So heart would be the last one. Then you have the red that they'll try to be guessing out on the board, innocent bystanders, and then the Mr. X that nobody is trying to get, and you will lose if you choose him. What you'll be doing on a turn is giving a word and a number. The number will correspond to how many clues. So the blue is trying to get like star and bridge and heart that you see. And you'll just try to give a one word like dinosaur and a number, 3, that will signify I'm trying to lead you to 3 clues with the word dinosaur. And you will try to figure out what those are. So maybe star, bridge, and heart. If they chose star, they would put the thing on it to signify that they've got that correct. You'll have a number of guesses plus 1 to the number that's said. Now, if the other team were to take their guess and say they're trying to get ring, you say engagement. 1, they got ring. Then that would put on there. Now, it behooves you to try to do more than it does than just 1 because you won't be able to go quickly enough. But you want to be careful they don't go to like iron, because then Mr. X, you would immediately lose at that point. If you get an innocent bystander, then you kind of lose your turn. The other team would go. So you want to be careful about what clues you're giving, the number of clues that you're giving. Of course, you want more clues, right? You want to hit more cards. But by doing that, you open yourself up for the team to get one of the things that you don't want, which is innocent bystander, the other team, or Mr. X himself. Who should buy this game? I feel like Codenames is a party game that should be in your collection. It's a really fun team versus team, and we normally play guys versus girls when we get together. Your mileage may vary however you want to set it up, but we like doing that. I would highly recommend the XXL version. It just sits better on the table. It's a lot larger for people to see. Everybody doesn't have to be hunched over. I like it quite a bit, and it is a difference maker to me. The components are nicer, they're larger, and easier to see. That's enough for me. I think it should be enough for you. XXL is the way to go. If you already have Codenames, I think it's worth taking a look. If you're struggling with any of these things visually and you want something bigger, then I think it's worth upgrading this and selling your old version. You know, if you're 22 and you have great eyes and this isn't a concern of yours, so be it. But on my Geek Chic, it's a big deal that those cards are so small. For me, Codenames XXL, keeper. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.